Welcome back to Aftertaste LA. I'm Vlad.
And I'm Nicole.
And today we're going to be discussing our meal at Rasarumah in Filipinotown. Rasarumah opened November 2024 and has since received a Michelin Bib Gourmand, which is high praise for a restaurant that's this young. Chef Johnny Lee, often dubbed the Prince of Poultry from Pearl River Deli fame, is behind the helm, and he has traveled through all of Southeast Asia, Indonesia, Vietnam, Malaysia, and lots of parts of China to give his homage to that region of the world's cuisine with Rasarumah, and really excited to talk about it. Okay, so Rasarumah.
Yeah.
Really cool Malaysian spot in Filipinotown, Rampart Village. It's kind of a little off the beaten path for LA.
This is such an unassuming stretch of road, it was such an LA street. You have the strip malls, stuff like that. Everything is one story for as far as the eye can see. And this place is really just tucked in there. You don't really realize that it's there. But once you do, it's a journey.
Yeah, that it is.
And one that I enjoyed.
I think it's a really cool, cute, inviting little entrance. Mm-hmm. They have this little green fence, a lot of plant life, cute little benches. And then right as you go, grab the door to open, you realize this is, the coolest little fish door handle.
Right. And I thought for sure, this must be their one cool thing. This is going to be the one thing that is cool. I had to take a picture of it because I love stuff like this. It's designed, It's cute, but it's also pretty. However, that was not the case. We walked inside, and as we were being helped and as we sat down, we kept noticing more and more little details that clearly showed every element of the design in here has been considered, and every element has been chosen and curated specifically to give you an experience before you even look at the menu or taste a dish.
Yeah, super well said. And I think the seats that we got were the best seats in the whole restaurant. Right in the corner, you can see everything, and you can see how they did a really good job of making it feel inspirational from their cuisine that they're serving. They have all these kind of overhead fans and checkered floor. They have the marquee, which is super adorable. Mm-hmm. Little tiny design choices that are really impressive. Great feng shui. A lot of plant life. A lot of really, really big plants.
Tropical.
Yeah, it felt so warm and inviting and a really cool neighborhood place. Really small restaurant. There's only, I think, 40 seats maybe. A small bar of 8 seats, a lot of cute little tables, and a really cute nook with exposed brick that seems to be for a larger group. Mm-hmm. Just a really, really well thought out use of the space that they have, given how small this restaurant is.
Yeah, just to say a little bit more of the decor so people who might be listening on audio can see it in their mind's eye. There's a really cool color scheme, maybe some burnt orange, turquoise, yellow, very nice soft yellow globe lamps, as well as orange pendant lights. And two of the features that I really enjoyed were a ginkgo leaf sconce that was on the other side of the restaurant, and the sconce next to our table was also a fish, though a different kind of fish from the one on the entryway door. There's also a turquoise room divider that was cool. Just a really cool, lovely color palette.
I think that room divider is there's more of it outside the restaurant in the front. It's a similar
Actually, it's a
little pattern.
It's
the
a
pattern's
little
a little
bit
different, but the color is the same, and it's just kind of, they're keeping with the theme. Mm-hmm. I thought that light with the fish, it was just so adorable. Look at this thing. It's so unique. Good. Whoever found this, what a find.
And you know what's so smart, too? The tiles on the floor are this turquoise as well as that room divider. This is a copper fixture but oxidized copper is also that color.
Whoever's doing their interior design, like this restaurant group seems to have it figured out.
Yeah, they really do.
And I love the little message that they left on their marquee. You know, at first, when I heard that there was like a marquee, I thought they would have like specials or something like that. Like, no, they're just having fun.
Yeah, which is better.
Yeah, because no one wants to read the menu off the marquee.
Yeah.
What I loved about this restaurant is it is humble in a lot of ways, but there's this just touch of elegance that is really unassuming. You don't even quite notice that it's there. Like the plates were cool, the cutlery, the way that they're arranged on the tables when you sit down. Like there's an elegance there. They don't need to be, but they want to be.
There's nothing generic.
Yeah.
Literally, there is not a single element in anything that they put on the table or had in the space that was generic restaurant. It was all specific to this restaurant.
Agreed. And I thought the booth seats were quite comfortable.
Very, yeah.
You
We
know,
both had
kind of like
booth
banquet seats type thing. Really good beginning.
A plus, A plus.
Yeah. Rasarumah, they don't have cocktails. Seems like they only have a beer and wine
Pretty much.
license.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Based on this menu. But, you know, they have some soju and they have some, like, Boilermakers, which is with soju and beer, not any kind of, you know, shots. But it's a cute little wine menu, like wine bar vibes.
Definitely have a nice little selection of each kind of wine and one for sake.
We were, you know, mostly responsible. I had some beer and you had a Sprite.
I did have a Sprite, a Mexican Sprite. They only have Mexican Coca-Cola and Mexican Sprite, which I really appreciate since they use cane sugar instead of the high fructose stuff.
And the glass bottle is nice.
And the glass bottle.
But yeah, you know, I think wine is slowly becoming a really popular choice for these more elevated Southeast Asian and Asian cuisines, you know, like something like an Anajak Thai or a night market where they have like a really great curated wine list. I think we're seeing that more often. I think people are figuring out how well this type of food pairs with wine. So while they don't have cocktails, I didn't really miss it. I think if I was to go back and were to be, you know, drinking more or with a group, I think wine would be great, or even a bottle of sake. On to the menu. It's a really cute menu, pretty small, I would say, and compact. There's some skewers. Having the sampler is super smart. I think you get $2 off if you want a sampler or two of each skewer. There are some cold appetizers to share. There's crudo, salads. There's smoked chili wings, which is like one of their more popular dishes. They have some noodles. They have some rice cakes. The signature dish on the menu, the Wagyu beef cheek rendang, which, you know, any Malaysian menu is going to have a rendang. So this is their take.
I thought it was great. I thought it was really varied in a good way. I didn't feel like any of these dishes were redundant on top of the others, which actually made ordering very difficult because I wanted to try it all. Yeah, I always appreciate a small menu, and I really appreciate somewhere that you can order roti on the side. I am a roti lover. I've tried most of the rotis, I think, in the city. There really aren't that many, so it's not super hard.
When they come out the way that they did, you know, they seemed very proper.
I definitely have feelings about the roti, but I'll save that for when we speak about the beef cheek rendang, which they came with.
I'm excited to hear your thoughts. The entrees, 2 out of the 5 entrees, vegetarian.
Yeah?
So that's always nice to see. I think next time I'd love to go back for the mushroom curry clay pot. I love it, like a clay pot
I was
dish.
shocked you did not want to order that.
It's not that I didn't want to order it, but the two of us run into the issue of should we order smart or should we just get everything that we want? And we can't ever go all in.
There's only 2 of us, unfortunately.
So let's get into it. After we placed our order, the first thing to arrive to the table were these 3 house-made sambals. Love when you get that complimentary thing that shows like, hey, here's what we care about. Made these all in-house. They're different. They're all, a pretty manageable heat level for the type of cuisine that we have.
Yeah.
Usually, like, this stuff should be spicier. They have dumbed it down for the LA
I was
audience.
surprised how low the spice level was on these.
Yeah. I think while it is smart, and I think most people aren't going to be able to handle the heat, I think I wouldn't be mad at them if they punched it up a little bit further.
I mean, I will say the lower spice level, I think, allowed me to taste more of the flavors, and the flavors were fantastic.
Yeah.
So I really wasn't that mad at it.
And they said, here's some, sambal to pair with the food. They didn't give a specific, like, here's what goes with this.
Yes.
It's just on the table, and you can kind of put it on anything. And people love condiments. You're given 3 condiment choices. I would say make one nuclear.
Yeah.
Out of the 3, give me one that's like the real deal. Some of them were spicier than others, but none of them were like melt your face off. I want one of those 3 to be like melt your face off. I can handle it. Some people can't.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
But so the 3 here, one was a kind of bell pepper tamarind, the more red one. And then a very LA with a jalapeno on the bottom one. And then the top left corner, we had shrimp and chili sambal. And all 3 of them were delicious, kind of fermenty, clearly made with love, probably made in a mortar pestle. And just feeling right and authentic, and shows they know what they're doing. Right off the jump, they're giving you this kind of, opening into what you're about to experience.
Yeah.
The first thing that we had was Crudo. It was a Kampachi Crudo, some Oyster Farm melon, some peanut, lime, pretty kind of classic fish saucy, punchy, like Nuoc Cham, Southeast Asian dressing.
I really liked this dish. Immediately my eye was drawn to it on the menu because of the Oyster Farm melons. We love those melons.
Shout out Oyster Farms.
Yeah, Oyster Farms, they know what they're doing. Flavor-wise, hit, for sure. How it was prepared, I actually expected the melon to be a little bit more of a star in this, and I kind of wish it was. The other thing you pointed out during the meal is a very thick cut of fish. Still very tasty. The Kampachi, it's hard to mess up. I would have liked it a little bit thinner.
This was probably one of the most favorite things that I had in the night because it shows a little bit of range compared to the other dishes that felt a little bit more authentic. It's a delicious pairing. The Oyster melon with this was perfect. I do think the pieces could have been a little bit bigger. I think they were playing it a little bit safe. It's so delicious. It's so in season. Oyster Farms, their melon is fantastic. It's one of the things that I look forward to from Oyster when we go. And it was great seeing it on a Crudo. You never really see it on a Crudo.
Yeah.
Usually it's on some sort of burrata or something or other. This was nice. And we don't order Crudo as much. It's on every menu in LA.
And most of them are pretty good. So it's like, I don't think it tells you much about the restaurant.
Right. In this instance, they did a fantastic job of keeping this traditional flavor profile and adding something from this city to it and making it feel local.
Yeah.
The fish was a bit thick. It didn't bother me because it's Kampachi. If this was a different fish and they did this, they might, if it was kind of like a snapper or a fluke, something that might not be as tender as Kampachi, I think they can adjust this dish a little bit. I think they can play around with the fish, and maybe I think even a mackerel would be great with something like this. A little bit thinner, a little bit more sashimi. Other than that, great dish, great texture.
Yeah.
Sauce was lovely, not too spicy. Great way to start. Okay, so the next thing we had was the skewers. We didn't get the sampler, but we got one of each. We wanted to try it all. And these were lovely. They were great to share. The pork jowl skewer came with this hot mustard, and then these Tokyo turnips, which had some really good miso butter and chili, and then a Jadori chicken thigh with peanut satay sauce and a little pineapple puree on there and some chili threads. And these were, really great to share. Really great starter.
My favorite was the Tokyo turnip. The miso honey butter got this nice caramelization from the fire, and it was just really yummy. They all were.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the turnip is going to surprise a lot of people. You know, it's there for the vegetarians for the most part, but I think it's kind of the underrated one there. I loved the pork jowl one. The chicken skewer was cooked perfectly and had a really nice juiciness to it, but it's chicken. I think that you and I are both notoriously not that impressed with chicken most of the time. I think if I had to pick my favorites, the pork one.
Yeah.
But they were great. Really great starter. Probably 2 per person is a solid amount. And they paired really, really well with these sambals.
Yeah.
You can kind of put whichever one you want, choose your own adventure. I think that most people that are going to come here are ordering the skewers.
Yeah, I would think so. And it's a great choice.
Yeah, absolutely. And then one of the most popular things that seemed like every table was ordering were these chicken wings, something that they're known for. Johnny Lee is the prince of poultry. He's got to have some poultry on the menu.
I thought they were really nice and crisp, but I was expecting a little bit more, just more.
Okay.
Sour or sweet or something like that, maybe a sauce. There was this chili crisp kind of thing on it, but it didn't impart as much flavor as I was expecting.
Yeah, I think it's like dried chilies and tamarind. And then they have some pickled serranos that they're tossed in, which is the acidity that you're looking for. It says that they were smoked. They didn't, I think probably the chili was smoked, but the wings themselves weren't smoked. The crispiness was great. It kind of just tasted like really good fried chicken. Clearly know how to fry a bird.
Yes.
You know, they were
the fry on it was great.
really nice. Kind of a breaded wing. I also was left slightly underwhelmed. I guess I just had really high expectations, especially from what I read about the restaurant. I thought these were going to be a little bit more punchy, a little bit more spicy, and they weren't. They were delicious. They were juicy, cooked perfectly. Would I get them again? If I was with a group, yes. If I'm going there by myself, I'll probably skip it because they were a bit heavy. They made me feel full. Not a bad thing. Yeah, one nice little addition that, you know, a little service thing is they give you these little moist towelettes with your wings. These are kind of covered in a lot of chili oil. Your fingers definitely get dirty eating them. This was a nice touch, although I forgot to use mine because I am filthy. We weren't initially going to order this salad, the Gado. The server talked us into it, and I'm really glad he did. This was a really great kind of palate cleanser before going into the mains.
It was deceptively spicy, but I kind of liked that and really balanced nicely with the fresh herbs. There was cilantro and mint and Thai basil. I think all of them just really lovely. It gave such a freshness to the salad.
I think this and the Crudo dish, they did a really good job of taking these like LA staple menu items.
Yeah.
Gem lettuce salad, Crudo, and imparting their spin on it that was just really smart, refreshing. Another pro tip, the shrimp chips are on the menu. There's shrimp chips on this salad. After trying the shrimp chips on the salad, I think I prefer them on the salad versus just having them on the table. And I really, really liked the crispy tofu cubes.
Yeah, those were cool.
That were in this salad. It was just like a nice kind of added texture, kind of like a crouton, kind of not. A protein element.
Yeah.
And the dressing really reminded me of like that carrot ginger salad that you get at a sushi restaurant. Although it was the spiced peanut dressing, it had that kind of macerated feel to it. It just, I think, coated the lettuces that they chose really, really nicely. And I love that they added some endive on there, a little bit more bitterness. It was just a really flavorful, full salad. It was sweet, spicy, salty, sour, bitter.
Crunchy.
You know, hitting all of the
Saucy.
flavor notes.
Yeah.
Great salad. I would order this every time I come.
Yeah.
100%. On to the mains. The 2 mains that we had were the Rendang, which we'll talk about in a little bit, And then we ordered the crispy rice cakes. These were so surprising. The rice cake itself reminded me of gnocchi. It just had this like really great texture where it's like crisp and charred on the outside, but like creamy on the inside. It almost didn't taste like rice.
Yeah, it really didn't.
It was a very unique rice cake and just a really delicious dish. I love the fried egg on top, the textures, the pickled carrots. It wasn't too... It was just really, really well executed. If you're a vegetarian, you're so stoked.
Oh, man, yeah.
To eat this. This with some of the, like, pork jowl skewers. I'd love that. Like, compare those two and just have a meal. I'd just come in and have that.
Honestly, I would just put the pork right in here.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Order this. Order, like, 2 of the pork skewers. Throw it on there, and you've made yourself a pretty awesome protein add-on to this really nice entree.
And pro tip, I had this for lunch today, and it reheats really well.
So there you go.
I'm sure for takeout, if they do that, it'd be great too.
Right. This is the type of restaurant where a lot of the dishes here would probably reheat really, really well. Okay, on to kind of the star of the show, the Wagyu beef cheek rendang. Really slowly braised beef cheek, coconut, lime. You get a little roti on the side. You get some pickles. You get some fresh herbs. You can kind of choose your own adventure how you want to eat this.
I loved this. And specifically, I loved this all together. And you need it all together. Mm-hmm. That's how you're going to have the best time, and they maximized every part of this. So let me talk about the roti. Mm-hmm. I love roti. I have no idea how I first had it, but I've been a lover of roti for at least a decade, and this roti was lovely. It was light. It was not too greasy. Very nice and thin. Great flavor. I loved them. Now, the other thing, so this comes with the beef rendang. The other things you get alongside it are a little bowl of fresh herb leaves. Again, I think it was the same medley that we'd had on the salad, the Thai basil, the mint, and the cilantro. Fantastic, nice and crisp. And to go with the very kind of heavy beef rendang, it helps to cut through it, as do the other 3 accompaniments. So you have house-made pickles, which I thought were fantastic, and then a yogurt sauce, and of course some lime wedges to go on top of it. And just the whole thing together, for me, I made sure I had every element and every bite. Just stellar.
I loved it. I think my approach to eating it was not so smart, but also maybe it could be smart. I basically took my roti and I made like a little wrap with it. So I put some of the beef rendang, and then I covered it with a little of the coconut, a little lime. I put a few pickles on there, and then I tore some fresh herbs, and I kind of ate it like a wrap. And it was really, really good that way. But once I finished eating my roti, I kind of only had the beef rendang left, and I was a little sad.
Yeah.
It was delicious. It was extremely rich. It was extremely filling. This is one of those things, like, if you're going to order this and share it with 1 or 2 people, just prepare yourself. It's heavy.
Yeah.
You're going to feel it. The pickles and the herbs and lime are absolutely integral.
Yeah.
If you don't have that, I also put a little of the sambal on mine. But I like that, you can order another roti. You can order a side of steamed rice. Mm-hmm. So if you want to have that experience, you can. Yeah, I thought it was really lovely. A tad rich and a tad greasy. But with that being said, that is how rendang typically is. So they're not doing anything that is wrong here. Mm-hmm. It's just something that people should know. When you order a rendang like this, it comes with roti. Really, really rich. And it's Wagyu. It's beef cheek.
The great thing about this menu is you can choose starters that are very light, like the salad and even the crudo.
Yeah.
So that you can have a really pleasant meal balancing the richness of the rendang with the lightness of those things.
Yeah, I agree. And I think we did that pretty well, albeit we had the chicken wings.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of those things. If you're coming here with 2 people, ordering the chicken wings and the rendang might be a little overkill. You might feel a bit stuffed
Yeah.
towards the end. One thing, though, a braised dish, like you said, it reheats really, really well.
Yeah.
So you could take half of it home. It's a pretty decent portion.
Yeah.
Given it's $48. It's the most expensive menu item they have.
Yes.
It seemed like pretty much every table was getting one.
Yeah. Very popular.
You know, all in all, really lovely. There's a reason why it's the most popular thing. I think next time I come back, I'd love to try the rice and the cod and get the full scope of the big entrees.
So I would love to hear you talk about the dessert because it's something that I don't think you would have ordered had I not been with you.
Yeah, this is definitely not usually my type of dessert. Pandan, it's not for me. It's got the red beans and like jelly noodles.
And ice cream.
I'm not really a big dessert guy for the most part at restaurants because I over-order with savories and overstuff myself, and I typically either have another drink for dessert or, you know, another bite of the savory thing. There were 2 desserts on the menu, this sundae and a passion fruit cream pie. Mm-hmm. Normally, I would order the passion fruit.
Yeah.
You know, if I was to pick these 2, that's what my gut tells me. But as soon as we saw one of these hit the dining room, a few tables over, we both looked at it and we were like, wow, yeah, we got to order that. It looks so interesting.
Just to describe what that visual is, you have coconut pandan ice cream, which is white because of the coconut, but then you have these bright green pandan jelly noodles, which are in the middle and filling up some of the bottom, the red bean, and then a palm sugar syrup and puffed rice on top. And it's in this adorable little, I mean, it's a sundae glass, right? It's like the classic sundae glass that Friendly's uses, basically. Visually striking because that green is so intense.
This is like radioactive green. This is not a natural color.
Yeah.
And it's like jelly noodles.
Yeah.
So you automatically, I'm thinking like, okay, this is gonna be weird. But they give you these really tall spoons, so you can like really get in there and like get a bite of everything.
By the way, as
Optimal.
an ice cream lover, those are the proper spoons.
I agree.
For a sundae.
I agree. So kudos to them. This was delicious.
Yeah.
I loved the crispy puffed rice on the top. The syrup was perfectly, almost bitter, but not really. Like they took it right to the edge in this caramel.
Yeah.
The noodles were not my favorite part. They kind of didn't taste like much. Like I said, I don't really like pandan.
They're also, I think, mostly there for texture.
Yeah, which I didn't care for. Give me the ice cream with the Crispies and the syrup. Just that alone is enough for me. But I thought it was also a really good dessert to, kind of cool you down after eating all this stuff that has chilies.
Yes.
It was all, really heavy, and this was really, refreshing.
Yeah, the dairy and the coolness of it were great on my tummy.
Yeah.
After the spicy. I would also say something I noticed as someone who does eat sweet red beans, not often, but sometimes. These beans had very nice, very tender skins. Sometimes when you get sweet red beans, they have very hard skins. Like the beans aren't cooked quite far enough. These were almost like I didn't need to chew them. I could just kind of mash them around in my mouth, and that was enough, which is lovely. When you get the hard skins, it's not so pleasant. This was perfect.
These were nice. While red beans are not my favorite dessert item, these were very manageable and just fine. I didn't think they really were a knock on the sundae.
Which is about the best we're going to get from you.
Probably.
That's the top rating.
I mean, I would order this again. I would have it again.
That's crazy to me. Well, I'm glad you liked it.
Well, I want to go with a group, and then we can just have both. I'll take a few spoonfuls of the ice cream. I'll eat some of the passion fruit pie, and everyone will be happy.
The last thing that I would like to talk about is the service. We did notice that it was a lean staff. But that said, I felt very well taken care of. The host was helping run food, bus tables. They seemed to have a really good teamwork dynamic where everyone was helping everyone else. It was very fluid, very seamless, and I don't think we ever felt like we weren't being taken care of. They were on the spot for everything.
They were on it. I chatted with the server a little bit while you were using the restroom, and I asked him, it was Monday. I asked him, is it usually this busy on a Monday? Every seat was taken, every bar seat, the place was packed.
Yeah.
And he told me usually they are this busy, but they have one more person on the floor. So I think they just understaffed themselves. They didn't think they were going to be this busy, or maybe someone called out. But they did a great job. Great teamwork. The food came out quick. The drinks came out quick. There was never really too many lulls. And every table seemed happy that we saw in the dining room. Every table filled with food. No one's sitting around, looking at their watch or looking for a server. And while doing all that, they were still able to clear our plates and change them out and, make sure that we needed everything we needed and change out our water. It was really nice to see.
Yeah, they did an excellent job.
You can tell that, Last Word Hospitality, all the restaurants they have, fantastic service, fantastic staff. They clearly have a great program for training and are just doing it right. And it's no wonder they are having such success.
Yeah.
To run a restaurant this efficiently with 3 people in the front, packed restaurant, it's kind of what restaurants in today's landscape with how expensive labor is need to do it. And I think more restaurants need to take a few notes from them.
I agree.
And no one looked stressed. No one looked busy. No one was rushing and feeling like they don't have enough time. They just handled it well. Everyone was happy. Everyone was in a good mood.
Yeah.
Everyone that was dining was also that way. Like, just the whole energy in the place. For a Monday night, usually Monday night, oftentimes most restaurants are closed Monday and Tuesday. For a restaurant like this caliber to be open on a Monday and be available is a great thing. It's the one thing about Los Angeles that bugs me is how many restaurants are closed on Monday and Tuesday, where a lot of people are looking for a good dining option.
Yeah.
Some of the best restaurants are, and rightfully so, it's hard to fill a restaurant on a Monday or a Tuesday. If you can, they only got 40 seats. They did it.
Yeah.
And, bravo. So, on to the verdict.
I'm kind of torn.
Okay.
I'm between a 3 and a 4.
You're between a 3 and a 4. Wow.
I really like this meal.
So I'm between a 2 and a 3. I think this is a really great restaurant, and I really, really love it. This is the type of restaurant you wish opened up in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Close to you. You'd go there once a month, maybe twice a month, bring friends. If your mom is visiting, you might bring her. It's a great restaurant. Great food, great service, great staff. The food was tasty. Is this something that I want to travel 40 to 60 minutes for? I'm torn. I think 3 is a fair grade.
Part of it for me is how unique the menu is. This kind of menu is not common.
Yeah.
Across the city. Maybe 4 is a little high, but I would say it's solidly a 3 for me.
If I'm
at least
visiting this city, is this a must, can't miss? If you're visiting Los Angeles and you want to know what it's all about?
I think it's firing on all cylinders.
I'm going to give you that.
In a way, but in a way that most restaurants here are not.
I think that's a testament to how well the training is, how smart the menu is. But there are maybe 3 or 4 restaurants with this kind of formula in this town that are kind of the same. And there was a few things that they missed on with the flavors that we discussed previously, which is why I can't give it a 4. The wings were a little bit underwhelming. The beef rendang, while it was good, it didn't blow me away. It didn't leave me like craving it again. The restaurant left me craving everything else that they had. And there are things here that I would order every time I went. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if everything that we had was like this mind-blowing experience. It's a great restaurant. The flavors are really amazing. I think it's a 3 taste bud for me.
I think it's worth the trek.
So 3 taste buds.
3 taste buds.
All right, Rasarumah, check it out. House of Flavor.
That's all. See you next time.